Logistics storage areas must not be used for personal belongings. Attention, duty engineer required. Report to the cafeteria. To carry out an engineer reset.
Lobby. Hello.
Keep your ears to the ground. Most prudent.
regained control of Grey Garden. They were a valuable
Aye.
source of... Hello.
Huh?
Huh?
This has been a pre-recorded message. Message repeats in 3 seconds.
Anyone? I'm trapped in the jewelry safe imbalance. Who's out there? Please, help. What's going on out there? I felt the ground shake, and nothing since. It's been 4 days, I think.
This is a Science Department Health Bulletin. Coughs and sneezes spread diseases, so please cover your face and help keep us all healthy.
Yes?
Yes.
Good afternoon. You're tuned to Radio Freedom, broadcasting across the Commonwealth. All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
Too many people slacking off around here. This is meant to be a headquarters, not a clubhouse.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here at Radio Freedom. All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts. Good afternoon. You're tuned to
Message
Radio
for
Freedom,
any
broadcasting
available
across the
logistics.
Commonwealth. All quiet.
Report to the medical center. One of your brawmen has gotten stuck again. regarding your morale-boosting ideas submitted to the admin team. In response to this morning's suggestion on a napkin, your approach was most intriguing. Unfortunately, it breaks several regulations and at least one scientific law.
Hey, how'd it go? You found a way into the Institute, right? You found your kid?
I met with the leader of the Institute. And it turns out, he's my son.
Your kid's son is the leader of the Institute? Okay.
Oh, huh. Sort of. It's complicated.
Yeah, I bet it is. It's not often in the wasteland that there's a happy ending to a story like yours. I'm glad you found your son. But there was sort of a second, more selfish reason I was asking. When we first met, you said the reason you were doing all this settlement stuff was to help you find your kid. So, I guess I'm wondering now that you've done that, where does that leave our partnership? Do we continue this little venture?
We can stick it out a bit longer.
Oh, that's a relief. Not that I thought you would go, but, you know, it's just good to hear you say it. All right, let's keep on going. Oh, hey, do me a favor. Let's keep you and me and this whole thing we're doing to ourselves, huh? I think the Institute can do without that particular knowledge.
You should know, people have been complaining a bit about the
Is the water clean? Hey, so how was it? Did you like the music? Was the confetti a bit too much? Well?
It was good.
I'm glad you didn't hate it. I know it was kind of silly, but you and Jacob have worked on that hug thing for a long time. I wanted to make a big deal of it being finished. And I also wanted to give you this. Here. It's my own personal thank you. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be fixing clogged plasma rifles for the gunners. I hope you like it, and I'm really excited to see what we do with this place. I think we can really turn it into something good for the Commonwealth.
Please ensure that any borrowed items are returned in the same condition in which they were received.
Yes?
Attention, security required. Report.
Hey, Chief. Fiona from the Nightingales is at HQ asking to see you. Seemed urgent. Something about a missing person. She's waiting in the meeting room. That was all.
Hey, you're a sight for sore eyes. I'm glad you're here. I can't be from the hospital for too long, and I didn't know where else to turn. Though, way I hear it, you have everyone in the Commonwealth asking you for something.
I'm always happy to help.
And I'm always happy to hear that kind of attitude from someone of your impact. Now for why I asked you to meet me. It's Ellis. He's missing. Well, sort of. It's a bit complicated. Let's say he went out to help some potentially dangerous people and he hasn't come back since.
Do you know where they took him?
No, and that's the problem. We got a message from a small gang of raiders asking for a house call. We're not nomadic anymore, so I asked them to come in for treatment instead. The messenger insisted. I think Ellis overheard the conversation because the next thing I know, he packed a medkit and went out. He left a note saying he was going to catch up with the messenger and help the gang himself, and he hasn't been back since. I can't help but feel like it's my fault.
Why do you say that?
Since Cassandra moved on, Ellis has been burning himself out. As if he wants to fill her shoes by the time he turns 20. I tried to get through to him, but he keeps me at an arm's length. We never had the rapport that he has with Cassandra or Raphael. I've been so focused on the hospital, I don't think I tried hard enough. But now he's missing, and I can't help feel like I drove him off.
Don't worry. I'll get him back.
Oh, thank you. I knew I could count on you. Raphael is already out there looking for Ellis. When he heard about what happened, he just called me an idiot, grabbed his rifle, and stormed out. I think he recognized the messenger I described to him. Maybe an old friend, or more likely an enemy. Might even be from his old gang. Now I'm worried for both of them. Could you find Raphael first and see if he made any progress? I need to know they have you keeping them safe.
I'd better get started.
I'm not entirely sure where he's headed, but here's some places he was seen last by my friends. Maybe you or your people could check them out. Good luck. I hope to bring them both home safe.
A message from the security team. As the story passed around the caravans goes, Vault 91 was planned as a socialist utopia, with residents selected from businessmen and executives.
Yeah?
It's unclear how the socialist designs for the vault went, but the residents themselves have long since monopolized the local water stream. We may never know how much of that is true.
Shit! Motherfucker!
Well now, my boss would like to see you right away now that you're here.
Who is this guy?
The chief trader, Mr. Glatton. I've been made aware that your appointment is to take priority.
All right, I'll hear him out.
Wonderful. He's been eager to make your acquaintance. Please follow me.
Yes?
Yeah?
Mr. Glatton, your appointment.
Ah, yes. That'll be all, Lydia.
Yes, sir.
What a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm Jeremiah Glatton, chief trader of this little venture. But more importantly for you, I'm an investor.
What does that mean?
I'm an investor in causes such as yours, of course. Supporting brave new settlements is a passion of mine. I loathe the notion of wealth languishing in our vaults when there are so many that can benefit from its investment.
It's nice to meet you.
Ah, I see Lydia has grossly underestimated the Commonwealth's civility. And of course, no introductions are necessary for you. Everywhere I ask, people know who you are. Setting up such far-reaching infrastructure, helping doctors rebuild their hospitals, uprooting aggressive mercenaries from their own base, bringing back organized law enforcement and justice into this chaos, and building quite the army of Good Samaritans as I hear it. Some of my people have already benefited from Minutemen patrols. I owe you. You have built an impressive reputation, my friend.
I'm glad you're impressed.
Oh, a little more than merely impressed. I'm positively honored. While I know quite a bit about you, I imagine you don't know much about us yet. So let me tell you a bit about the New Liberty Trading Company. We are a merchant coalition, a tiny but effective little empire. Our predecessors have built our company with careful control of our economy. By my generation, it's created quite a bit of surplus that we now invest in surrounding settlements. Your initiative is among the most promising.
Can I ask some questions?
By all means, consider me an open book.
What's your plan exactly?
My plan here is to ensure the Commonwealth has all the resources it needs to grow. The Home Office is pragmatic, but they trust my business sense implicitly. That means I can safeguard your interests and make sure you get a fair deal.
How do you know anything about the Commonwealth? What have you heard?
We've been here before. Funny story, really. We attempted to set up a trade agreement with the Commonwealth Provisional Government decades ago. Our negotiators arrived a week too late, however. The CPG had been massacred, and the paranoid locals drove our delegation off. Without a unifying leadership, we wrote this region off as too unstable to sign contracts with. Too high of a risk for very little return.
What changed your mind?
Why, you did! You are exactly the kind of person that we prefer to do business with. A pragmatic leader and a unifying voice for the region.
Tell me more about this town of yours.
Not quite a town, but robust with trade, safety, and gifted artisans. We're not interested in expansion, only establishing trade routes. The NLTC values the written contract above all else, and that trust gives us a certain infrastructure for order in our dealings. If it's notarized on paper, we honor it as law. A notion that seems quite silly to most wastelanders, I know. Scraps of paper carrying so much weight. But we extend the right to anyone outside the NLTC, our partners doubly so. Most are pretty quickly won over.
Interesting idea. What's the catch?
A shrewd question, to be expected of someone of your reputation. The contracts require careful wording, of course. Once they're signed, they're ironclad. Breaking them is done only through predetermined exit clauses. It's quite an elegant system, you'll find. But once our bargains are struck, you can trust that we will honor them.
That's all for now.
Certainly. You've made quite an impression on us, and I hope we can likewise prove ourselves to you, while we both turn a profit, of course.
All right, we can do business.
Combining our funds with your panache, you'll be an empire to be reckoned with in no time. You've already seen what we can offer to places like the Nightingale Hospital. I hear their admirable operation is thriving. Much as it pains me to say it, though, you've caught me a bit earlier than I expected. Right now, this is all hypothetical. We're looking to establish a trade outpost in a promising location on the waterfront. It'll be ideal for funneling our caravans. It's still swarmed with super mutants, but hopefully we'll have them cleared out soon and with minimal casualties.
Can I lend a hand?
You're offering to help us? Well, I must say, hearing about you is one thing, but I see now that rumor doesn't do you justice. If you're serious, check with Lydia. She'll have all the details. I'm sure she's more than happy to direct you. I have to get back to work. Please excuse me, but I truly appreciate you stopping by. It's really an honor to meet you. Lydia, won't you come in? Our new friend here has volunteered to help us secure the spot we've scouted out for our new outpost.
What a pleasant surprise.
Indeed. If you could give them the brief on the location and mark it on the map, they can get started.
Of course. It is the pre-war building known as the Custom House Tower near the waterfront, currently occupied by super mutants.
Nasty business, but at least there are no ethical concerns with vacating them from the premises. Now, I have some business to attend to. It's been an honor to meet you. Best of luck with this. I look forward to hearing of your heroics.
Hello. Our Chief of Security, Allison Gale, is currently scouting the location. She was told to observe and keep out of sight. Speak to her when you're ready to instigate hostilities with the super mutants. Once the location is secure, you will be paid 1,000 caps.
I'm on it. It's as good as done.
Excellent. I await the results of your venture with bated breath. Now, is there anything else?
I have some more questions first.
Very well. I imagine you have some reservations about us and the NLTC.
Tell me about yourself.
Let's remain focused on the task at hand. Are there any other questions about the NLTC that I can answer?
What are you planning on doing?
In the macroscope, the goals of the NLTC are that of any other entity. To survive and thrive. Uncomplicated, subjective, and useless to you. The plan for our delegation, however, is to assess the local markets and come to mutually beneficial agreement with our new trading partners. As of right now, we've finished assessing the markets. A more permanent outpost is necessary for the next step.
Gonna need some more information.
The New Liberty Trading Company is a coalition of merchants, caravans, artisan guilds, and other entrepreneurs. As such, you will find we have a diversity of goods ranging from necessities to luxuries, and a thriving banking tradition. I believe that about covers the basics. Any other questions?
That's all for now.
Very well. Was there anything else?
How are you doing?
How am I? Oh, small talk. I understand. I'll admit, I find myself preoccupied with the prospect of a permanent outpost. My stomach doesn't always agree with traveling by boat.
Do you have any advice?
Speak to Miss Gell before approaching the tower. Extermination contracts are her expertise, and she's rather enthusiastic about them. She'll be more than happy to assist you with any hostilities. And do be careful. Super mutants are unpleasant creatures.
I'll get on it.
I look forward to the results.
Yes?
Look at that. You were right on schedule. So, time to kill us some super mutants?
How did you know?
I was told to sit here and wait until I either got bored or you showed. And here you are. That makes you on schedule.
Who are you? What are you doing out here?
Name's Allison. Lydia sent me out here to keep an eye on the super mutants. Now my job is to watch your back while we shoot them. So, you ready to get to killing?
Okay. Let's get to work.
They got one of those suiciders by the door and some mines on the exits. Don't know how many are inside. Don't get blown up, or the bosses will have to find some other ass to kiss. And I wouldn't put it past Lydia to dock my pay if you die. After you. Taking damage! Not bad at all. Gotta say, this was more fun than I've had in weeks. NLTC solves most of its problems with money. Lucky for me that the wasteland is full of shit that doesn't negotiate. Makes for nice, clean, ethical violence.
What's next?
Bosses will get someone to clean it up. They travel with janitors for a reason. Time to head back and let Her Highness know the palace is ready. Stop by sometime and get your pay from Lydia.
engaging me, huh?
She's unstoppable!
You're back. Miss Gale has already reported what happened. You've done the job to the letter of the contract. A refreshing change of pace. Usually, hiring locals requires far more supervision. Here is the reward for the job.
What's next for you?
I'll start organizing our people and some local contractors. They'll clean up the mess the super mutants have undoubtedly left behind. In the meantime, I have another contract that would benefit from your unique reputation in the Commonwealth. Would you be interested?
Of course. Go ahead.
Setting up a trade outpost is a significant step in establishing our presence. It is now time to consider the markets we are getting involved in. Our first established trade agreements must be strategic. There are a few prospective candidates.
What's your take on Diamond City?
It is a well-established settlement. Stable, organized, and due to their limited space, always short on something. In other words, exactly the kind of trading partner we're looking for. Normally, I conduct these negotiations personally. However, intelligence tells me that Diamond City is paranoid and insular. My being a stranger will unnecessarily prolong the negotiations. You are a known and respected entity to them. As such, I would like to hire you to bring the draft of the agreement to them and negotiate on our behalf with the quartermaster.
What is it?
It is a standard trade agreement. Section 2B lists our rates, tariffs, and taxes. 3B details risk that our caravans are willing to undertake. Other sections also encompass banned goods, code of conduct with our employees, rate of... And of course, T22 lists liability charges and an outline of the NLTC judicial systems for appeals in regards to... Are you listening to me?
I understood.
I found that properly arranged paperwork pays dividends in caps, and patience saved. Back to the matter of your involvement in the negotiations.
All right. I'll do it.
Excellent. Here's the copy of the contract. If the quartermaster is a smart man, he will want to negotiate some of the terms. Do what you have to get it signed, though it is my hope that your reputation will do the work for you. Oh, and one more thing. I'm putting Miss Gale at your disposal. She can accompany you or meet you there. I'll leave such details to your discretion.
Why would you want her to go with me?
Miss Gale has a tendency to become a liability when kept on standby. Plainly put, when she's bored, she starts making her own entertainment, and I foresee her being very bored while we set up the outpost.
Sure. I could use someone watching my back.
She's been made aware of the situation. Speak to her if you want her to accompany you. Good luck with the negotiations.
Hey, killer. Lydia said you might want a bodyguard on a little trip. Her Highness gets the best ideas. Or I can meet you in Diamond City. Your call.
Let's go then.
Fucking A, hun. Get us into some trouble on the way, won't you? Actually, that reminds me. I got a little extermination contract on some raiders. Their hideout is on the way. Normally, Lydia just pays the gang off, but I guess these guys are too territorial and too close. Glatton wants them vacated from the premises. If you're up for raising a little hell, I'll share the payout. Fair and square.
Sure. I got time to help out.
Your call. I'll mark it down for you. Anyway, let's get going. Looks like trouble found us.
Disappearing out. Hey, look.
Huh? Stop the show.
Yeah.
Payoff's already failed. Nothing to do but go in and sweep them out.
This outfit's way worse than the last one.
Something will eat it soon. Probably.
What the hell was that?
We got incoming! Anyone else? No? That was almost disappointing. I'm used to raiders out in the waste having more teeth and spine than that. These guys were a bit desperate, if anything. Guess there's nowhere for them to run.
Raiders are a problem for everyone.
Won't catch me disagreeing. Gossip has it, though, you've made them way less of a problem for the folks living in the Commonwealth. I heard you did one better and laid siege to GNN HQ. Took it from the gunners in a hail of gunfire and explosions. Sounded like a whole lot of fun.
What's your opinion of the gunners?
They're competition, but in name only, really. Far as I hear, they've stopped with the mercenary shtick and moved on to full-fledged army. Me and my boys, we're a straightforward bunch. We're on the NLTC payroll as security. Sometimes we get loaned out to other clients. NLTC probably sold supplies to gunners at some point, but I didn't hear of any recent dealings. You'd have to ask Her Highness if you want details. I just wish we got out here sooner, get in on the sieging. That would have been fun. If you could pay for us to fight anyway. This is getting awkward.